The recent declaration of the current protocol by the new PNU Alliance Party, complete with a memorandum of understanding between Deputy Prime Minister Uhuru Kenyatta, Vice President Kalonzo Musyoka and Professor George Saitoti, has been considered one of the boldest moves so far as political alliances go.
And I have no doubt when I'm saying this, that the next president of the Sovereign Republic of Kenya is in this room, or has been in this room. Do you have doubt? Do you have any doubt? Mheshimiwa Uhuru Kenyatta, Vice President Kalonzo Musyoka, Joyce Saitoti, if you come up and give us one candidate, there will be no runoff.
Analysts say this was the first official acknowledgement that the so-called G7 alliance of Uhuru Kenyatta, Kalonzo Musyoka, William Ruto, Eugene Wamalwa, Chirau Ali Mwakwere and Kiraitu Murungi was, at the very least, a smokescreen.
The issues here are assuming that both Ruto and Uhuru have been released through, from the ICC process. Then there is a reality that both Uhuru and Ruto will be presenting themselves as presidential candidates. So the alliance issues here stop happening, because then Kalonzo will be a presidential candidate, and then even Saitoti will be a presidential candidate. So the issue of alliances will come to naught.
As it is, the PNU is crowded already with the titans, and that is going to make it difficult when they reach the primaries, because each one of them would basically be, trying to flex his muscle. But should Ruto, for instance, join the PNU, he's going to be telling Uhuru Kenyatta that he gave you the support in the year 2002. He's going to be telling Kalonzo Musyoka that you tried, you gave it a stab in 2002. In 2007 and never made it. And for Saitoti is going to be telling him you've served for 30 years, 13 years of which as a vice president. So give me this opportunity to steer this vehicle to victory in 2012.
The PNU alliance is expected to find its footing immediately Deputy Prime Minister Uhuru Kenyatta knows his fate at the International Criminal Court. But therein lies the political dilemma for the PNU figureheads.
It's more advisable for them to basically craft or cobble out a working or partnership formula for 2012. And if they're not going to be able to achieve that, then that is going to have the net effect of giving room to ODM, and for that matter Raila Odinga, to basically coast home and occupy again that old colonial building on the mountain as tenant number one.
What you're seeing around Kalonzo, please understand, it's just Kalonzo himself. Kalonzo doesn't care about any alliance. It's about him or nothing else. So he will be here and he'll be presenting himself as a candidate. Whether the alliance nominates him or not, he will run on his own. So that is Kalonzo for us.
It is this clash of ambitions that is fueling the predictions that another force, possibly a strong political alliance, is emerging around William Ruto, well outside the G7 arrangement.
The truth will come out that the two of them are not actually interested in building an alliance, but they're interested in pursuing their own political cause. Ruto wants to be on the ballot at any cost, and so does Uhuru want to be on the ballot at any cost. So should they be exonerated from the ICC process, when they come back here, we'll stop hearing these things about alliances. We'll start hearing about Uhuru and we'll start hearing about Ruto.
Talking about Ruto, whichever way you look at it, he's ready to go from wire to wire, and that informs his unremitting effort he's been gallivanting, hopscotching the country, trying to consolidate his support base, and he seems to be making inroads, merchandising his ideological and programmatic platform. He's made inroads at the coast, more so in the context of the Mijikenda community, the northeastern or the Muslim community for that matter, a section of Western Kenya, that is Bungoma and Rift and Trans Nzoia. And if he conflates that with the Kisii and the Kalenjin, then that is going to constitute a formidable political juggernaut that, of course, is going to make him, a serious candidate for 2012.
Then all eyes will be on the balancing act Ruto shall have to perform to get a running mate if he decides to create a third force to counter ODM and the PNU alliance.
The likely person Ruto may choose as a running mate is Ali Chirau Makwere. And the reason why is he brings in the coastal voter base, especially among the Mijikenda. And two, he is a Muslim, and that is going to be appealing to the Muslim community, both at the coast and northeastern part of Kenya. And also given the fact that it's been a marginalized community. And so this will give undivided attention from the coast in terms of basically throwing their votes on the side of Ruto.
The other entrant into the fray, former Roreda MP Raphael Tuju, by his own admission, is searching for an alliance and has recently been warming up to William Ruto. But the question many are asking now is whether Eugene Wamalwa, who seems to have abandoned his quest for the presidency, will be a political orphan in the 2012 power games.
Remember, Eugene Wamalwa had a chance to become the Ford Kenya chairman. He abandoned that along the way. He had a chance to become the leader of Labour Party, which Julia had offered him. He abandoned that along the way. Now he's being offered New Ford Kenya by Soweto Shtanda. We don't know whether it's formal or whether it's just a gentleman's arrangement. Now, as far as I'm concerned, Eugene Wamalwa is partyless. And I don't think that he has a future in UDM. He doesn't have a future in New Ford Kenya. And I think he is just going to have to find his own gravitas in the process of all these things.
Now, since 1992, presidential elections in Kenya have been won or lost depending on the strength or weakness of the political coalitions of the time. Die-hard ODM supporters believe that in the political jungle in Kenya, the ODM party is still the lion of the jungle. But the ODM opponents believe that the lion, ODM, is a wounded lion and can be beaten. It now depends on whether the bulls in the G7 alliance will stick together and send ODM home, or scatter and make themselves easy prey. Now, Otieno, KTN, for Spotlight 2012, Nairobi.